Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Your Conscious Life. So happy to have all of you here. For those of you who are new, welcome. This channel itself is fairly new and I'm just excited to be here with all of you, and I hope that this video reaches anyone who needs it, who will resonate with it. Super grateful to be here with all of you. This video is initially a full moon in Aries video. I just want to kind of share the energies and sort of the divine messages that have come through given the full moon that's coming. It is a really powerful one. It is the last full moon of the year, and it is the harvest moon as well. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about that. And as I was sort of connecting to the divine, meditating, pulling some cards to connect to the energies, I had a really sort of emotional response to the meditation, and then certain things happened as well that have sort of affected me. And I then really was like, okay, let me sort of do this video, because I really think that this is a collective energy, right? The full moons really bring about completion. They bring about the ending of certain things in our lives in order to clear and allow for space for new things when the new moon starts. So, and that's really what I've been experiencing today. But anyway, I will share some of that after, but I just wanted to talk quickly about some of the cards that I pulled and the energy that I'm feeling. I have pulled from two of my favorite decks, and the first one is Moonology messages, and this one, the Moonlight Oracle cards. So I feel like it's pretty fitting to use those decks for these moon readings. And my first name is actually Cynthia, which means goddess of the moon. I've been always very directly connected to the moon. My moon is in Pisces. I'm a Cancer rising, right? So lots of moon influences for me and in my chart. And so I really do feel connected to these decks. And I felt like I should, use them to kind of just get some energy and messages for this full moon in Aries. And so the first card that I pulled is Moonlight Enchanted. And the energy that I really get from this is really that this is an enchanted time. This is a time, it's a special time that we need to really tap into what's special about us and not forget about that, and connect to that. And understand that we all have really beautiful gifts within us that we are here to use, and we are here to pull from, and we are here to connect to and share with the world. And so let's really sort of think about that and remember how enchanted we are and how blessed we are. And the second card that I pulled was Moonshining. And it says, stay in integrity. And this one really spoke to me because of my own sort of experience lately with where I am in life, with relationships that I've had in my life, and how much they've taught me, the deep lessons that I've learned through the relationships that I've had. And I think relationships are a huge place for us to learn and for our souls to learn. For me, I know that my sort of contract or job here for my soul is to really learn a lot about self-love and taking care of myself and not giving so much to others in relationships. And relationships have really sort of been like my karmic lessons, my soul lessons, my all sorts of lessons. They've all been focused around relationships. And the stay in integrity card for me really made me feel like the importance of all of us to really tap into our own integrity. What is important to us? What should we focus on? What are the things about ourselves that we shouldn't forget or ignore because we want to sort of do a lot for others? How do we stay connected to our integrity and our true self, and the importance of that, even as we're going through you know, different experiences and different relationships and different things in our life, really kind of connecting to who we are and always staying connected to our integrity. I think that's really, really important. And for me, I think, and I posted something about this on Instagram, I think that a lot of times, you know, in order to justify going after something or feeling like something is right, even though my intuition is telling me that it isn't, you know, I do that. I tend to do that a lot, especially around relationships. And I think that that's a way for me to really not stay in my own integrity and not trust myself and not respect myself. It really is a form of betrayal. And so I've been really reflecting on why that is, why I do that, what does that mean about where I am and how much more healing I have to do. And so I'm sharing that as a way to kind of point it out, right? And when have you not stayed connected to your integrity, and when have you decided to do something that you knew went against what your intuition was telling you, or what you knew you should do or shouldn't do given the type of person that you are, your values, right, etc. And so and I feel like this is a collective experience right now, and so I wanted to share that with all of you, just as something to reflect on, as something to think about. You know, I think as the full moon is coming and we sort of complete this cycle, it's a beautiful thing to think about certain behaviors that we may be embodying that we want to no longer do, and that hopefully we can, you know, as the new moon starts, sort of think about our intentions to change some of that behavior, change some of the self-betrayal that for me, I know that I've been doing lately. And so, yeah, doing a lot of reflection on that. The third card that I pulled is, this is the Quicksilver moon and changes. And it's just a beautiful card. This deck is just absolutely beautiful. And, you know, let me tell you, all I feel right now energetically is the change. Change is coming. Change is here, and changes in a good way, changes in a positive, forward moving, forward thinking way. For me personally, the summer was pretty stagnant. It was quite hard and tough. And I've said this before, I felt like I was swimming in mud and not really knowing where I was going or how things were going to work out. And suddenly I've just felt this incredible shift to a much lighter environment, a much lighter energetic vibe. And so it's a beautiful thing. Changes are coming, changes are here. And so really it's important to tap into that and to sort of think about and take some time to meditate or journal. I'm always mentioning to all of you, right? Like there are different ways to tap into yourselves and connect to yourselves and have some of that alone time, individual time. And that could be meditation, that could be journaling, that could be yoga, that could be running, you know, right? Whatever it is that works for you when you need some sort of time for solitude to reflect and evaluate where you've been, where you are now, where you want to head to, because this energy really is a beautiful changing energy that's going to bring in a lot of forward movement, a lot of really positive things, and change is always happening, right? That is the only constant. Change is the only constant, and some of it we might welcome, some of it we might not, but really always remember that, as we've heard and we hear, if you're sort of in this community, that life happens for us, not to us, right? And so even if a change is coming that is unexpected, it's important to sort of step back and think about, okay, why might this be happening, and what good is going to come out of it that maybe I don't see right now, but that I will see eventually. Really embrace this changing energy, because it really is a beautiful one. And you know, I'm here in the Northeast, so we are just about to start fall. It is my favorite season, and I always feel this like beautiful sort of shifting energy as the fall chill starts coming in. And I've definitely felt that this year probably a lot stronger than others. So this is, for me, I feel like it's a collective sort of energy that I wanted to share with all of you. And this card definitely brings about that, that energy as well. And then from this deck, the fourth card I pulled for is the Moon's Moment and Synchronicity. And I love the clock, right? For me, I get a lot of synchronistic messages through numbers and number clocks. You know, synchronicities can show up very differently for everyone. For me, they really show up as numbers a lot, or if I'm having a conversation that I am really, that's really aligning with where the universe wants me, or the direction that I'm supposed to be heading in, or the things that I'm supposed to be doing, I will get chills throughout my body. And that's another, for me, another synchronicity and sign that I am tapping in and aligning really well with what I'm supposed to be doing. But really, this is a beautiful card reminding us that things are aligning. We are aligning right now to our best and highest path. And so if you feel any of these synchronicity sort of vibes around you, whether it's numbers, whether it's, you know, people popping into your life that you haven't heard from in a while, and it's just sort of a perfect timing because now you're going to work on something together, you know, so many different ways that that we can sort of realize and see that things are aligning, and even just, you know, listening to certain songs that suddenly hit you hard, and you kind of, you know, listen to the lyrics and it's exactly something that you were thinking about, right? You know, many different ways that the universe can give us messages about our alignment and that we're on the right path. And so be open to that, because the energy is really ripe for that, and it's important to pay attention. And if you feel that something that's happened is meaningful to you, and you kind of have to think about it and say, I feel like this must mean something, then it really does. And so don't doubt it. There are no coincidences. Things happen for a reason, and the universe is always communicating with us. And so 2 more cards for this full moon that I pulled from the Moonology Oracle cards is beautiful. It is a new moon card. It is not a full moon, but it's a new moon in Taurus, which we actually just had. And it says prosperity lies ahead. And so that's a beautiful, beautiful message. And that's really something that I feel intensely. I've not only sort of heard and seen the messages about the prosperity that's coming for all of us as a collective, but also seen it for me personally. And so really be open to that. And I have to tell you, and I'll share a little bit more about this once I'm done with the cards, you know, changes, as I said, are always happening, and there's always something, you know, that we can learn from, something good that will come out of it. And it, you know, doesn't make them any easier. So I'm experiencing both this sort of sense of prosperity, positivity, really good things coming at the same time while I'm going through some painful shifts, changes, and endings in my personal life. So there's always the duality of life, right? With the good comes the bad, and that's just the way that it is. And it's a beautiful experience. It's, you know, it's amazing and difficult at the same time, but it's amazing to be able to embrace it. So pay attention to that. Prosperity lies ahead. And then we do have a full moon card. And I think this sums it up really, really beautifully. And it says surrender to the divine, right? And so that's exactly what all of these messages are sort of letting us know, is that there is a higher power that is really supporting us, guiding us, teaching us, inspiring us to be our best self, to learn so much about ourselves, to really tap into who we are, understand who we are, love who we are, begin from that place of self-love, of growth, of healing, of awareness, so that we can live, you know, for our highest good. And so, you know, I just like to share a little bit of a personal story with all of you, because I don't sit here saying all of this and pulling cards just because I feel like I know more than anybody else. On the contrary, I really come from a place of experience, and I'm learning along with you. And Today has been a pretty heavy day and I did not expect it to be. I did meditate this morning. I was guided to meditate and, it brought up a lot of emotions for me, specifically because I was given visions of where I have been in life and where I am now. And specifically around my career, I am an organizational psychology practitioner. So I do a lot of facilitated sessions. I work with leaders and teams and, executives in organizations, helping them really think about how to treat their employees, how to run their businesses successfully, making sure that they're taking care of the human beings within their organizations. And the idea of me being in front of big rooms and facilitating sessions and putting myself out there that way years ago was just insane. I mean, if you would have told me that that's what I would be doing now, I would have laughed because I was such a nervous wreck most of my life due to my trauma. Really did not feel worthy of doing any of those types of jobs. Really would be freaked out that, people would make fun of me or that I wouldn't do a good job or that I would mess up, or just being in front of a large group was extremely, nerve-wracking and anxiety producing. So, and now that is what I do for work. And add on top of that, deciding to do a YouTube channel, right? So like, this is another piece that, if you would have told me years ago that I'd be doing, I would have laughed too and said, absolutely not. I'm still in a lot of ways, kind of like, what is going on? I have a YouTube channel. But I say all of that to say that as I was getting those visions of where I've been and where I am now and the things that I'm doing now and the type of work that I'm doing, not only in my career, but also here and also on Instagram, it brought up all of these feelings and emotions where I really just started crying. But it was like a beautiful, deep crying of release, almost of like releasing all of the doubts that I've had throughout my life that would have stopped me from doing all of these things, and the gratitude and positive, happy feelings of like, holy crap, I'm no longer there and I am here now doing this. Almost like I'm a new person. Look at me and what I'm doing. And the pride that I feel, the deep soul, like thrilling contentment of knowing that I've grown, knowing that I've come really far. And I think a lot of times we don't take that time to understand and see and congratulate ourselves for the amount of growth that we do during life, because I think we're just focused on what's going on and getting things done, and families and work and friends and all of this stuff, and we don't dedicate the time to really kind of reflect and see how far we've come. And I feel like the fact that this is a full moon and it's a big super moon, and there's, completion happening because new cycles are about to start. It was just a beautiful, for me, way to process my journey, how far I've come, the growth that I've done, and kind of release all of those doubts and all of the stuff that was still in there, obviously, because it just all came out in order for me to start new and kind of get on with this new cycle, this prosperity that's coming, right? The prosperity, the changes, right? All of this is what's coming. And so I say that to all of you, that we are all on a beautiful journey. We are all learning. We are all getting up and falling down and getting up and falling down. And it's all part of what our soul is supposed to be doing here. And, I think as human beings, we're accustomed to focusing on the negative. But let me tell you, if you take some time to think about how far you've come and everything that you've accomplished and all of the growth that you've all done, and you really tap into that, it is a beautiful feeling, and it does nothing but motivate you to continue. So that is it for me for this video. This is probably like my longest video, but I really wanted to kind of combine the full moon energy with the things that have happened to me today on a personal level, because I feel like it's all related. And as a collective, if I'm going through this, I know that a lot of you are. I hope this video really reaches everyone that needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next video. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear you comment. You know, if you feel drawn to this channel, then please, by all means, subscribe and hit the thumbs up and all that other good stuff, as I usually say. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.